Okay, a very good day to everyone and welcome to our knowledge sharing, the invisible force, self-concept and enables great communication. So please sit down, relax and enjoy the rest of the program. It is our delight to be your MC tonight for this informative program and I am Amrina Rashada. Along with me is my partner Assyifa Najwa and we are very honored to be the MC of today's meaningful event. Good day and welcome once again. We hope you will find the program we have lined up for you to be fruitful and engaging.
Okay, hi and everyone, and hi and hello everyone. How are you guys feeling today? Are you guys good? So are you guys excited? Because I am right now. So today event for our for today event, which is knowledge sharing program, or called the Invisible Force, self-concept enables great communication. Audience will be exposed on some knowledge about self-concepts such as attitudes, beliefs, and values about yourself, and also how it influences our communication. So for this event, knowledge sharing, it is hoped that all of us can identify your own abilities to improve yourself in the future.
So as for today's program, we will have three main agenda, where the first agenda is the sharing about self-concept. Here are two respectful speakers. We share the knowledge of self-concept, self-esteem, self-fulfilling prophecy, criteria of self-concept, and basically all you need to know about why is self-concept is so important, and also some relations in our interpersonal skills. And then the game sessions will be our third agenda to spice up our knowledge sharing program. Exciting games and activities will be conducted to help you guys entertained. And the last agenda is Q&A sessions. This will wrap up our program and room are open for questions for those who want to ask your doubt to our speakers. The price of success is hard work, dedication to the job at hand, and determinations that whether we win or lose, we have applied the best of ourselves to the task at hand. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I will show you a video regarding our program today.
Wait a minute.
Okay, so how was the video? It is thrilling, exciting, isn't it? So through this video, I hope you guys have a rough picture about our topics today. To kick off this night's program, we are pleased to have with us our speakers to deliver their knowledge to you guys. Introducing our speakers for today's program, which is Miss Nurdiyana and also Miss Ashikin. These two speakers will give you guys more knowledge and input about our main objective for today. In these sessions, the speakers will share with you on how to perceive yourself, explaining the aspects such as our abilities, behaviors, our character's uniqueness. They will also share with you how showing impressions to others is related to your attitudes, beliefs, and values.
Thank you for the MCs, Ms. Amrina and Ms. Assyifa. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Nurul and today I would like to share my knowledge with you about what is self-concept. First of all, self-concept refers to a person's overall perception of who she believes she is. And if someone asks you to tell me who you are, and your responses would reveal how you see yourself, that is your self-concept. Each person has an overall self-concept that can be summarized in a short list of broader characteristics that they will use. However, each person's self-concept is influenced by context, which means that we recognize ourselves differently depending on the situation. Personal characteristics such as our abilities, our personalities, and other distinguishing characteristics will best describe of who we are in some situations. And you may consider yourself you are a laid-back person, or funny person, or open-minded person, and you also may consider yourself as a leader or thrill seeker. In some cases, our self-concept is linked to group or cultural membership. For example, you might identify yourself as an undergraduate student in University Putra Malaysia. That is example of self-concept. While self-esteem, it refers to the judgments that we make of our own self-concept. The difference between self-concept and self-esteem is self-concept is a general description of ourselves, while self-esteem is more specific assessment of ourselves. And when, if someone asks you the same questions again, to tell me who you are, and then ask you to rate yourself, like, are you a good person or are you a bad person? Are you a positive person or negative person, and etc. Each of the things that you listed about yourself, that is your self-esteem. Self-esteem, like self-concept, has both general and specific components. In general, some people are more likely to rate their own abilities positively, while others are more likely to rate their own abilities negatively. So our self-concept may vary throughout our lives and in different contexts. So I want to share you what is the relation between self-concept to communication skills. Our interactions with others and their reaction to us also will help to shape our self-concept. There is a concept called the looking glass concept, and this concept describes how we see ourselves reflected in other people's reactions to us. And then it can form our self-concept based on how we believe other people see us. So this reflective process of developing our self-concept is based on what other people have said, such as, oh, you are a good listener, or you are a good daughter, and etc. As well as other people's reactions, like they are seeking advice from you. So these thoughts will evoke emotional responses, which will contribute to our self-concept. From other people responses, you might think that you are glad that people can count on you to listen to their problems. So there are three components of self-concept, which are material self, social self, and spiritual self. The material self is like all physical attributes and character that we have known as physical self-concept. For example, smart, brave, talented in arts, or you consider yourself as pretty, you old, fat, short, and etc. Social itself is like all part of our interaction with others. Social self also is a variety of selves that respond to changes in the society situations and rules. For example, you are interacting with your best friends, but in informal way, and others like you are interacting with your professors or lecturers in a formal way. And lastly, the spiritual self concept. Spiritual self consists of all your inner thoughts and introspections about your values and moral standards. It involves with emotion and our intellectual connection. For example, you consider yourself as a pleasant person and emotionally stable person, and etc. So I think self-concept is important because it influences how we think, influences how we feel, and act in everyday organizational life. I think that is all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi everyone. My name is Nurdiyana Binti Rusli. Okay, so I will be further sharing on the self-concept topic, specifically on the factors that influence self-concept. So we may like to think that our self-concept starts with a blank canvas, but it is actually limited by our experiences and various social and cultural contexts. There are many factors that influence our self-concept. Factors that influence people the most are social and family influences, and also the media. These two play a role in shaping who we think we are and how we feel about ourselves. Let's look over each of these factors. Firstly, social and family influences. Parents and friends shape our self-concept in positive and negative ways. The feedback that we get from them can lead to positive or negative views of ourselves. One of the common feedbacks that we often get is praises. People often think that all praises give positive impacts, but actually praises also give negative impacts. Praises are very subjective and specific to each person and context, but in general, there have been questions raised about the potential negative effects of too much praises. Motivation is the underlying force that drives us to do things. Sometimes we are intrinsically motivated, meaning we want to do something for the love of doing it or for the resulting intended satisfaction. Other times we are extrinsically motivated, meaning we do something to receive a reward or avoid punishment. For example, some students study hard to get good results for the sake of the future, while some people study hard to get praised or recognized by their friends and family. Both cases, of course, effectively motivate people. Praise is a form of extrinsic reward, and if there is an actual reward associated with the praise, like money or special recognition, some people speculate that intrinsic motivation will suffer. But what's so good about intrinsic motivation? Intrinsic motivation is more substantial and long-lasting than extrinsic motivation and can lead to the development of a work ethic and a sense of pride in one's abilities. Intrinsic motivation can move people to accomplish great things over long periods of time and be happy despite the effort and sacrifices made. Extrinsic motivation dies when the reward stops, and too much praises can lead people to have a misguided sense of their abilities. And the other point is media. The representation we see in the media affect our self-concept. The vast majority of media images include idealized representation of attractiveness. Despite the fact that the images of people we see in magazines and on movies are not typically what we see when we look at the people around us in classroom, work, or at the stores, many of us continue to hold ourselves to an unrealistic standard of beauty and attractiveness. Movies, magazines, and television shows are filled with beautiful people and less attractive actors. When less attractive actors appears in media, they are typically portrayed as villains or as background extra. Aside from overall attractiveness, the media also offers narrow representation of acceptable body weight. In terms of self-concept, media representation offers us guidance on what is acceptable or unacceptable and valued or not valued in our society. So in conclusion, socializing forces like family and media affect our self-concept because they give us feedback on who we are. This feedback can be evaluated positively or negatively and can lead to positive or negative patterns that influence our self-concept and then our intrapersonal skills. So based on the video that we watched earlier, we can refer to the tips in the video to minimize the negative influences of these factors. So that's all from me.
Thank you to our speakers for the insightful presentation. You can now be more aware about yourself. It is very necessary for all of us to know about our own self-natural behavior from what Ms. Ashikin and also Ms. Diana has shared today. Hopefully, throughout the presentation given, we will expose more about how one can create their own self-concept in their daily life. I believe with these presentations, everyone here are excited to know more about themselves, right? Yeah, me too.
So as our both speakers have shared their knowledge, now we are open to question and answer. If there's any question or doubt, you can open your mic to us or you can type your question as well in the chat room. Now, you can start giving question to us.
Okay, hello. I have question. Have you experienced having difficulties with your self-esteem?
Of course, I can't say I've never have problems with my self-esteem, especially in high school. Because you know, high school was toxic and I was a little bit overweight back then, to the point that I think that I need to lose weight, I need to stop eating, I need to work out really hard. And I even wrote at my mirror, I scribbled down, you have to stop eating and all. Because you know, when you got body shape, you just can't help feel like you need to improve yourself and in a short time. So that was my lowest point, how my self-esteem dropped to the point that I even do it to myself. But for if you are talking about in the present, my self-esteem is probably better than back then, but still the scars still remain and I will never heal completely from the past. So that is my answer for your question. Is that okay?
All right, thank you. Yes, thank you.
Okay, there's someone put their questions on the chat box, so I read it. I want to ask these questions to our MC, Miss Amrina, which is me. Okay, I often speak low because I hate how I talk and I have low self-esteem. It is frustrating because people don't hear me at times. Do you have any tips for me? Oh, okay, Miss Zati. So I think that you have the fear of being judged harshly, and honestly, I suffer from this too. But I have promised myself not to let it stop my personal growth. Maybe I am not qualified to answer this, but let me tell you, I have been there, or maybe I still am there, but I will definitely give it a try. So the best way is, of course, to engage in more conversation. Like you can involve yourself in a new circle of friends who are more active and open with words, of course, in a decent ways. That way you can open up and share your thoughts and ideas conveniently. You can take small steps and notice how people will appreciate what you talk. And don't be so harsh on yourself. Like it is not a big deal. Remember that nobody is perfect. You have your specialty, you have your own set of skill, your own talent. You are as good as people around you, and perhaps you are even better than them. So I think that's all my answer for that question. Thank you, Ms. Zati. So anyone have other questions? Okay, so there's a question from Ms. Farah. Hello, I have one question. What are the rules of self-concept? So can I have Ms. Ashikin to answer this?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the question. I think for me, in my opinion, the rules to create self-concept is that the statement that people say to yourself is often repeated many times. So you started to believe that that is how you see yourself, and the person that you make that statement has capability that they can see how ourselves, and So when they start repeating the same thing, and you start to believe them, and that you will see how they see you, and the statements are consistent with the comments from others, and or what we have experienced. I think that is all from me. Thank you.
Thank you for Ms. Ashikin and also Ms. Farah for giving the questions. So can we have one more questions? So last questions, how to develop self-concept? So can I have Ms. Nurdiyana to answer these questions? This will be the last question here.
Self-concept can be developed by interacting with others in the family, interacting with others in the surrounding, finding new friends, interacting in groups accompanied, and maybe self-reflective also. That's the answer.
Thank you to Ms. Nurdiyana. Okay, so now it's time for the long-awaited moment. Are you ready for some entertainment? So games, perhaps, in which it will help us to explore more about ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, for today's event, you will be entertained by a short and exciting game with us. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the games. Okay, so there's a link on the chat box for this game. You guys can go click the link and join the game. You guys can do the game by yourself. It is a very, very short game to see your personality test. So in this game, you just need to answer the questions that they ask. And at the end of this game, you can see the results to see which ones are your personalities. So it is quite interesting game and it is very short. So and also very convenient for all ages to use and also to play.
Dang, looks like I got a shark.
How the end of the game should be like. So your perception skills match those of a shark. Maybe you get the other animals or else, I don't know. But it is quite entertaining actually.
Welcome back, ladies. The game was fun, wasn't it? For the invisible force, self-concept enables great communication, which is this event right now. Sharing knowledge program is about to come to an end. We would like to thank everyone who are here and gave us your utmost attention to this program. Ladies, I hope you have found today's program as informative as I do and also useful for you guys. And before that, we would like to express our heartfelt thanks to all the project members who had worked hard for the program to be a success. Thank you once again for making this event a memorable one. Thank you for coming and have a safe journey home. Good night and God bless everyone. So that's it for this event. Thank you.